All right, so this 90-second product review takes more like 3 minutes. Just letting you know.
What's happening? So I was at the CD Baby DIY Musicians Conference in Austin, Texas in August of 2019. I saw one of the keynote speakers and I didn't stick around for the Q&A. I went outside to talk to another speaker I had just seen. So I was standing talking to this other speaker at her table, and then she said, well, I gotta get up because the next speaker's taking this spot. And I said, okay, nice talking to you. Then I turned to my right and there's this long line of people. So it turns out I was in the front of the line to meet the next keynote speaker. So I'm talking to them and then I turn around and here he is. So I have my book with me and I opened my book and I opened it to a page with a heading that I knew he'd relate to, and I said, hey, Darryl. He goes, what's up? And I pointed to the page in my book and he said, I gotta check this out. And he took my book and I said, I'll make you a deal. I'll read yours, 10 Ways Not to Commit Suicide by Darryl McDaniels, and review it. So here I am, I'm gonna review it. Look, you don't have to be into hip hop to appreciate this story. Darryl McDaniels grew up in Hollis, Queens, New York. He was a straight A student in Catholic school. He was in his freshman year in college when RUN-DMC first hit. He was a big comic book nerd, still is. He has a comic book publishing company out there now. He was shy, susceptible to other people's opinions and things like that. And his book talks a lot about that. It talks about his deep struggles with depression. It talks about how music got him through, not his music, but the music of somebody else. He talks about his struggles with alcohol. He talks about finding out he was adopted. I'm not spoiling anything here, by the way. It's all pretty much common knowledge these days because he goes around talking to people about these issues all the time. There's one really great spot in the book here. When you lowball your value, you also deny other people the chance to benefit from what you have to bring. So like I said, you don't have to be a hip-hop artist. You don't even have to be a musician. If you like the Rolling Stones and Bob Dylan, so does he. If you like Sarah McLachlan, if you like comic books, that was an inspiration for a lot of his material. If you struggle with your self-worth, he shares that extensively, his struggle and what he has done to get past it. And if you're in my age group, 54 when I'm recording this, the beginning of 2021, he's just a couple years older, so he's in the same age group. So, and you know, if you're like me and didn't grow up on hip hop, I grew up on the same music he did, actually. Rolling Stones, Bob Dylan, Harry Chapin. He names all these artists that he listened to. You still know who he was. You still remember Run-DMC and Aerosmith getting together. You got to read this book. It's not a very long read. It's about 222 pages. It's funny. It's moving. It's extraordinarily well written, which, by the way, musicians don't always make good authors. But this guy does. Check it out. 10 Ways Not to Commit Suicide. Darryl McDaniels, DMC of Run-DMC. He's my new hero. Peace.
Across the highway, slowly riding up the road.
Now, some of the stuff he talked about in his keynote was stuff that I had experienced, and not the massive fame and groundbreaking music part, just the human life struggles that he shared, which were astounding and encouraging, and he was really an extraordinary guy.
She did.